What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, LITECOIN, Ethereum, and the Dow Jones Industrial. We do look at that during the week towards the end of the video, so definitely stick around. We have some targets we've been watching. If you guys have any suggestions of anything else you'd like to see in the videos, definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know, and I will try to figure out how to get it in. Other than that, there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free, and let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, it's not financial advice, trading advice, investment advice, any of that. Disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. So everybody's extremely bullish right now. We're going to take a look at the news and just take a look at the headlines, get a feel for the sentiment there. We already know the sentiment on crypto Twitter. If you are on crypto Twitter, you can follow me on there. I'm at CryptoSavvy1. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, let's see what's going on. Like I said, everybody's really bullish. Everybody's talking about the Golden Cross. I'm not saying that it's, that we can't go up from here, but I'm still really bearish, guys, especially if we can't pass that 10.5. I'm seeing the highest that I think we're going to go from here is around the 10,200 range. I could definitely be wrong. I explained it on a video yesterday. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. There is a 4-hour gap on the CME. And of course, you guys know if you watch my channel, I'm not a gap person. I don't believe they all have to fill. But there is a 4-hour gap around 35.90 or 35.70, I think it is. Check it out in yesterday's video, but I do explain how we could get there if that was to fill. Again, I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm saying there's a good possibility. And another reason being is, remember what happened with the Plus token sell-off? Well, that's what they blamed it on. Of course, I believe the news are already burnt in the charts, but we do have another one that nobody's talking about. I don't know why. I don't know if they're scared to talk about it because everyone's so bullish. But WOE token, check it out. I did a video a few days back on it. They stole a lot of money too, and I do believe they'll be dumping, and that's one of the reasons that people will blame the crash on. So, in my opinion, if we crash. So, anyways, get set for Bitcoin halving. Here's what it means. That's old news. Sudden major outage sparks serious Bitcoin exchange. Grayscale buys 33% of all Bitcoin mined in the last 3 months. Bullish, bullish. Retail investors branch to altcoins. 60% of Coinbase buy Bitcoin, and then like 25% start going into alts. As you guys know, I believe in Bitcoin and Litecoin. Everything else, I'm not a fan of. Not saying you can't trade it and make money off of it. This Bitcoin documentary from Africa, blah, blah. Square unveils Bitcoin auto payments. Major 800 million Bitcoin and crypto investors reveals. So, bullish. The news is bullish, which makes me less and less bullish. 52% or 52 on the Fear and Greed Index. That has raised 1 point or 2 points from yesterday. We were in the neutral, still in the neutral. So obviously you can see the sentiment's rising in here, but let's look at the monthly. Take a look at the trend lines we've been watching. This 93.40. These are going to be key for the monthly close, in my opinion. If we close above 93.40, bullish. If we close in between 93.40 and 85.50, neutral. If we close below that, bearish. We could be heading down to our 55 EMA, which is around 5,400 or even lower. But like I said, sorry about that. I am bearish. You guys know that. This is my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. Check it out. There's a link down below in the description. Great way to support the channel, along with some other links down there. There's some hardware wallet links. There's Brave Browser. If you don't use Brave Browser, I suggest you check it out. You don't have to watch commercials or anything on it, and you can get paid crypto if you turn it on and actually watch commercials. So check it out, but definitely check all this stuff out down below. There's a lot of good stuff down there. Some good bonuses and other stuff. So the weekly Bitcoin chart, we're still looking right around that 10,460. I do want to point out, everybody is saying, you know, we crossed this line, we're getting support. Guys, I go off the wicks. We have not crossed that long-term trend line. I know a lot of people use the bodies and say we got to close above. Screw all that. Just put it on the wicks. If we get above it, even if we wick above it, chances are we are going to continue up. There is bullish and bearish case scenarios here. If we look at this as a broadening falling wedge, the measured move of that is around the $16,000 range. But of course, we would have to break the 10,500 to confirm it. But that would be my target if we cross that. That's in the bullish case scenario. Of course, I don't think that's going to happen yet. And guys, I'm long-term bullish on Bitcoin. I think next year is going to be an awesome year, or starting the end of this year, if we don't cross this 10.5. So don't think of me as, you know, talking Bitcoin down, none of that. I'm just looking at it in the real case. I know a lot of channels out there feed you we're going to the moon all the time. They were feeding you going to the moon here, going to the moon here, going to the moon here. So, you know, just try to keep it in perspective, keep calm, and don't, you know, don't FOMO. So anyways, we do have these lower targets down here, which are possible. The 200 EMA right now is around the 5,500, and we have this bottom trend line here from back here in July 2017, and then where we obviously our 2018 December bottom, and then our capitulation here. But around 45.70, if we were to come back down and retest that, if that wasn't to hold, then we would be looking at this longer term trend line from 2016 at 28.45. If we retested the bottom of this broadening wedge, it would be around, you know, between 1,000 and 1,200. Again, guys, I'm not saying that's going to happen, just a possibility to watch out for. And if you look at where we've been rising right here, our volume's declining on the weekly. So that's not a good sign. Usually, as you can see, we're going straight up. And every time we do that, we have a massive correction. And I do believe that's where we're headed. Again, this is my opinion, not yours. So let's look at the RSI. So we did break out of this, and that is pretty bullish. We broke out of the falling channel, but I've said even if we closed our weekly outside of here, we most likely come back down and test it. And I do think that's most likely what we're going to do. And that'll probably get us down somewhere in the $8,500 range. If that breaks back through and closes below it, extremely bearish. If we get a nice bounce there, that could be it. Let's look at, if you guys are interested in trading, I'll leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. It's by far my favorite exchange now, although I do use Dudex and Bybit a little bit also, and I have their links down below if you want to check those out. I also have tutorials for all three of them. Those are the exchanges I use, and I do trade. I'm not like, you know, a lot of people say people are shilling, you know, crap, blah, blah, blah. Well, I actually use these exchanges, and trading's been around for hundreds of years, so I don't know what all these guys are talking about. And the only way, you know, of course, you can lose a lot of money. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And of course, you can win a lot of money, but don't put in more than you're willing to lose. Use your stop losses. Learn money management. Dudex does have a money management tool on theirs, but those are the only three exchanges that I trust as much as you can trust an exchange. As you guys know, I've used Kraken, Femex, all that. I don't like any of it. I had links to them. I removed my links because I think they're garbage exchanges. So anyways, if you want to check it out, it's a great exchange. You can trade commodities and all kinds of stuff. And one of the best features I think they have that nobody else has is you can actually put, you know, as many charts as you want up there, so you can keep an eye on other commodities and stuff. But you can trade gold, oil, silver, all kinds of stuff using your Bitcoin. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. If you use Savvy50 as your promo code, there's a promo code spot in here. If you use Savvy50, you get 50% on top of whatever you deposit up to 1 Bitcoin as a bonus. You can't withdraw that, but you can use it towards your trading and your margin. And don't use super high leverage, guys. It's pretty simple. But anyways, there's a Savvy 51 or Savvy 25 code that you can also use on there. It gets you 25% off of all your fees. All right, let's get on with what's going on here. But yeah, all the exchanges I use, or the 3 I use down there, do all have bonuses for signing up. So on the daily, the same thing, the volume. We're in what I believe to be a rising channel here. The volume's still declining. Yeah, we had some boosts here, but overall still declining within this. I still am thinking that we're breaking out of the bottom of this. But we could have another boost up, like I said, to test that 10.5 range, which also, if you guys look at the pink lines here, we were watching this rising broadening wedge. When we broke out, we knew we were headed down. I had a target of, I think, 53 at that time, and everybody was saying, you're way too bearish, way too bearish, way too bearish. Look what happened. And I believe that's probably what's going to happen here, too, with everybody being bullish, because everybody was super bullish here. They accused me of fudding and just down talking or whatever, when all we were doing is looking at the reality. Everybody else was saying that was it, we were going to the moon. But we see what happened. Like I said, I had a target back then. You can check my videos of 53, I think it was. We talked about it for months, and well, we see what happened there. So I do believe most likely we're going to see something like that again. And again, guys, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, that's what I believe. Even though the EMAs right here are all bullish, we've turned up. We're getting support on the 8 EMA. But again, let's see what happens around that 10.5 range. We do have a measured move coming out of this, depending on where we break. Say if we broke it this week sometime, our target would be down in the between 6,200 and 69. But we do have some major support here at 7,700. We've talked about that for a long time. As you guys know, my target's around 5,400. If we look at this whole move, swing low to swing high, put a Fibonacci retracement on it. These are the retracement levels. 8628 is a 0.236. 0.382 is 7,700. 0.5 is 69. Well, let's just say 7,000. Golden retracement zones between 6,000 and 6,200, which I still believe we're most likely headed to this range, in my opinion, of course. But the 0.786 is at 51. Let's look at the volume, or I'm sorry, the RSI. So looking at this rising channel here, as you can see, we've been stuck in this for quite some time, for almost a year now. And we had this falling broadening wedge, broke out of it, came into this rising broadening wedge. That's usually a bearish sign. Does look like our RSI is curling over now. And a retest of the bottom of this would be probably the bottom of this rising channel here. If we were to come down all the way today, which I'm not saying we're going to, but that would be, that would be right around the 8600, 8650 range. If that was the break, then we're looking at these lower levels, in my opinion. We are rising here, volume declining. I think this probably is going to break down, in my opinion. But again, watch for a boost up here to retest the bottom of this rising broadening wedge, which could be that 10.5 area again. I explained yesterday there's a good area right in, if my scenario played out that we went down and closed that 4-hour gap on the CME. I did a video on it yesterday, check it out, but 10,250 is the target to get rejected in that scenario. Let's look at the 4-hour. So looking at the 4-hour, same thing, rising channel here. And if we zoom in a little bit, all targets are the same we just talked about. If we zoom in a little bit, this does look like a possible bull flag or ascending triangle, which is definitely a possibility. And we have some measured moves of that. If we were to break up, the measured move would be 10,855, which would retest the top of this resistance up here. But a breakdown from here would get us to test the bottom of that, and that's right around the area we just talked about, depending on where it broke. But 8650, 8700 would be testing the bottom of this channel. If the bottom of this channel breaks, guys, it's going to get ugly, in my opinion. And if we look at what it's doing right here, I was looking at something earlier and I'm not quite, oh, here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Just remember, a lot of times when we get like this, look like a bull flag here, we got a big drop. So this could be a bigger version of that. We got the same thing over here and obviously got a rise. But you go back over here and this was one of the other times everybody was super bullish. Looked like a bull flag here and we see what happened. That just plummeted. So be careful, guys. Don't get too excited about the golden cross yet. We'll see what happens. As you guys know, a lot of times it's fake and we plummet from there. Let's look at the RSI. Looking at the RSI, we have this long-term rising channel that we just talked about, but this is the 4-hour. Looks like a falling broadening wedge. If we break this line in the RSI, we'll definitely have another push up. Otherwise, we come back down, test this, and break it. Yesterday, we talked about this being possible inverse head and shoulders. Still a possibility, a little less likely for the RSI to come up and retest this. But if we did, most likely that would be retesting the top of this triangle again around the 99.50. If we came up and retested the top of this trend line here. Litecoin. Looking at Litecoin, same thing. Our EMAs look good. Everything's crossed bullish. Looks like our 55 wants to cross our 200 again. But this is looking bearish to me. If we do get another boost up, and I'll show you in the RSI, we could come up and retest this blue trend line off of these wicks up here. Could go as high as right around the $49 range. As you guys know, Bitcoin still follows the market pretty much. And the pre-market right now is about, the Dow is up about 300 points. So could we get a little push up today? Definitely possible. But yeah, as of right now, we're getting supported on the EMAs. Let's look at the targets. Like I said, the top of this would be right around the $49 to $50 range. If that breaks, we could be headed up to test this 51 again. And this is the bullish case scenario. And then we have the 0.5 retracement at 55. We have the golden pocket zone around 62, which, as you can see, there's confluence in all this. But that would be the bullish case scenario. Again, I don't believe that's going to happen, but I could be wrong. We do have a measured move of falling out of this channel. And if we go from where we first fell out, even though we've came back in it, would be looking, let's just look at the golden pocket zone right now. Around the $35 range would be my target for the downside. We could move this back down to this wick and where we had this little wick here. That would obviously make it a much bigger drop if we came down and dropped out of it. Let's just take a look real quick. Again, guys, smash the likes if you haven't already. I always forget to say that, so I'm going to say it now. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think's going on. But that would get us right down to the 0.786 retracement of about $30. So, whoops. Yeah, 28 to 30 bucks, depending on where and if we break. So, just another way to look at that one. But again, guys, overall, I'm still bearish unless Bitcoin crosses at 10.5. I see no reason to be bullish yet. Ethereum, same thing. We have the target of falling out of this rising channel right around 135 to 142. Golden pocket 0.618 is around 142.50. This is another thing I wanted to point out real quick on Ethereum. As you can see right here, looks like we're forming that ascending triangle like we talk about in Bitcoin. Actually, this one would be symmetrical, and I'll zoom in a little more so you can see it. We had the same thing over here, and everybody was getting super bullish, and we see what happened. We also have, looking at the bullish case scenario here, we have this, well, I don't know where my measured move went for that. Is this it? No, that's not it. All right, so let's, same thing here, guys. We're getting support on all the EMAs. Is this it here? Yeah, I think that might be it. Yep, that's it. All right, so our measured move breaking out of this, if you see in the right here, looking like a falling broadening wedge, this is bullish case. That gets us up to around the $250 range, which is the 0.786 fib retracement of this swing high to swing low. So it's a possibility to keep an eye out for. We also have this trend line right here off of these wicks, just like in Litecoin. To retest the top of that would be around 225. If it breaks 225, I'd be looking for the 250. And the bearish case, as I said, the golden pocket zone down here. We also have, these are the white targets, are Fibonacci retracements. 0.236 is 194, 0.382 is 175, 0.5 is 158, and then our golden pocket zone, and then 0.786 is the 120. Same thing with Ethereum and Litecoin, guys. Volume's declining within this rising channel, so be careful of that. Again, just because I'm bearish doesn't mean you have to be. Make up your own mind. Watch the Moon Boys channels and, watch mine. Make your own decision. But try to keep a level head. Don't get too crazy excited about either direction. All right, so the rising channel here, we've broken out. Been playing on this line, so I'm not so sure how good that line is. But right here looks to be a rising wedge. Looks like we are going to most likely these break down. We could have that run up, like I said, to the 225, possibly 250. But if we look at the RSI, look at these peaks here. We're getting some bearish divergence here, guys. So be careful, be cautious. Don't do nothing crazy. Keep an eye on the charts, man. That's about all I got to say there. Let's look at the pre-market. Dow is up pre-market 289 points, and as we talked about yesterday, we closed Friday above this 55 EMA, came back down to test it yesterday, didn't quite hit it, but we do look like we're going to come test this 200 EMA around the 25.6 range, which would also be retesting this channel that we broke out of, and the measured move of that would be 2100 coming down from here if that is the case. But guys, I have much lower targets. You could check my videos from a couple weeks ago. We've been talking about it for a long time. First target hit almost exact there, 18.3. But if we look at the RSI, looks like we're most likely going to come up and retest the top of this trend line here, which would be lining up at that 25.6 range, and then come back down from there, possibly. And this is the daily chart, guys. Possibly come back down and retest all the way down here. That would be retesting this falling broadening wedge that we came out of. And that would be my much, much, much lower targets. My first one, 17.2. If that doesn't hold, I believe we could go all the way down to 91. I know a lot of people are saying they're just going to keep printing money, It's just going to go up because they can print money. And even the people that doubted it and thought we were going to have another drop, which I still believe we're going to have another drop. This looks bearish to me, guys. This is just my opinion I'm giving you, but now that everybody's like turned to believe that, okay, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. Now, even the doubters are starting to believe that it can keep going. That's market psychology, guys. They are sucking people in, and eventually, people put their money that they pulled out back in. They pulled out down here or pulled out up here, whichever. And they're going to put it in, start gaining confidence, because that's what it sounds like everybody's doing to me. And boom, there goes their retirement, 401ks again, everything. Just a big game, guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click Crypto Savvy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Make sure you hit that all button, otherwise they won't let you know when it comes. And smash the likes, leave your comments down below. Thanks a lot, guys. I am out.